Hey Tubies, I'm here to talk to you a little bit about something very in the news right now. I just watched the dash cam, just tonight, of the Texas officer that did the traffic stop on Sandra Bland. You know, she was arrested and then subsequently they say she committed suicide in the jail, and the reports are that she died of asphyxiation, from hanging of course. But why did I do that? That was not good. But anyway, I watched the video, and I'm not truly convinced that the officer did everything correct. Now, I'm going to get the naysayers who are going to say, well, you know what, she resisted arrest, and she fought the officer. But you know what, the officer, I believe, in my opinion, brought it upon himself. Now, here's the thing. So he pulls her over. Now, I'm speaking from a little bit of experience here. I'm going to get those debaters who say, you know what, that's not experience. Okay, you're not a master debater, okay? Well, you might be a master debater, but you're not a good debater. So, and here's why. So I went through the Texas Commission on Law Enforcement Officers Standards and Excellence. I think, if I recall, that's what it means. But it's TCLEOSE, Texas Commission on Law Enforcement Officers and Standards. I don't know, excellence and standards. Anyway, moving on. I'm sidetracked. So I went through TCLEOSE, you know, which is the police academy in Texas. I went through phase 1 of it, and then I came to California. But I went through phase 1, and in phase 1, I gained enough knowledge about levels of force, how to talk to people, how to address people. My instructor was a big cops fan. He really was. And one day of the week, I think it was Friday, if I recall, I don't remember. But he would choose a day of the week. We would sit and watch cops. And then, like, we'd watch a segment of it, and then we would talk about what he did right, what he did wrong. Could he have been, you know, could he have avoided that situation? Did the officer, you know, inflame that situation with the way he treated the, whatever, you know. Bottom line is, through that experience of going through phase 1 of TCLEOSE, I really learned a lot about how to address people, and I haven't always practiced it, but I think I've gotten pretty good at it today. You know, I'm very good at it. Especially when somebody gets irate, I'm very good at just talking to them and bringing them down. Because I have clients that get upset at my job. But here's the thing. So let's get back. So that's my experience. I know how to talk to people. I know how to deal with irate people, people that are upset, people who things aren't going their way, and you're really not about to make their day. Because you know, my job, I have to approve or deny people certain claims. And I get people that if you have to deny them, they're not going to be real happy, and you have to kind of, you know, keep it at a level, at a decent level. So, based on that, I watched the dash cam of this video. The officer, after running her license and all registration and all that, goes back to the car and asks her for a second time, because he'd asked her before. For a second time, he asked her, what's wrong? So she tells him. She starts answering him, and he goes, are you done? Well, you asked the question, dummy. So why are you now being rude to her? He didn't need to say that. He could have been like, I understand, ma'am. I understand. It's an inconvenience in your day. But here's why I pulled you over. And he could have explained to her, and he could have said, I understand, ma'am. But then he says, he doesn't say that. He just says, are you done? And then he says, put out your cigarette. Now, he didn't need to say that. He could have said, ma'am, I would ask you kindly, can you either put your cigarette out or just move it away? The smoke, I'm not very good with cigarette smoke. He could have said something of that nature. No, he said, put it out. Oh, you don't want to? Well, I'm going to arrest you then. I'm going to bully you. I'm going to pull you out of the car because I'm having a bad day and you made it worse. Now, he didn't say any of that, but that is, in my own opinion, my own personal opinion, what I gathered he was thinking. He may not even been thinking that, but I gathered from my eyesight that's what he was thinking. My point is this. How many other hundreds or thousands of people out there that are going to watch this video will be thinking the same thing? Now, what does that mean in relativity? I'll make up my own word. what does that mean in relativity? It's late, guys. It's midnight. To this video, well, the Texas Department of Public Safety shouldn't be too happy if that's the opinion I gathered, or if that's what I saw, and if hundreds or thousands of other people see the same thing I saw. What it really amounts to is this officer handled it incorrectly. He was having a bad day. She made it worse. You know, he was going to show her, oh, you don't want to put out your cigarette? I'm a cop and I gave you an order. You don't want to follow the order? You're going on the ground. I believe that's kind of what he was thinking. He may not have been thinking that, but that's what I saw, you see. That's what I saw, and that's what I'm thinking he was thinking. Perception is the key, guys. Perception is the key. When you are in the capacity of your job, you have to remember people are watching you. People are watching you. And when they see you do something bad, they think, oh, this department is that guy. See, if he'd handled it correctly, he probably would have just issued her a citation and said, ma'am, you can go before the judge. If you don't agree, please go before the judge. Because, I mean, you have the right. I have to give you a citation based on what I've witnessed, what I've seen, what I've observed. I'm going to let you go on your way. Please sign it so that I can at least get you a court date. You can go before the judge. You can say anything you want. I'll be there, and you can address it. And I'll be there. You can address me. Whatever. Here you go. He could have sent her on her way. No, he had to be a jerk. In my own opinion, he was a jerk. Somebody might disagree with me. He might disagree with me. I don't care. It's what I saw. Let me know, guys, in a comment or a video. You let me know what you saw. And if it differs, we'll go with it. And one last thing. I wanted to add this real quick, too. I want to add this. So this was on Facebook, and some people were discussing it. And there were some people discussing about how a black woman was just prejudiced against by a white cop. And I'll go with that. Maybe he was prejudiced. I don't know. Maybe he was racist. But here's the thing that bothered me. They said Black Lives Matter. You know, all these only black people, or a lot of black people are, you know, abused by cops. And I shared a story, and I said, well, it's not just black. There are some white people that have been abused by cops. You know, one white guy here was killed. He was mentally ill, homeless, and he was beaten to death for no reason, in my opinion. And the person came back and said, well, we're not really discussing that. We're discussing black lives right now, how black lives matter. That's the problem with this country, by the way. Let me just throw my 2 cents in. When we start dividing this country by race or color or ethnicity, you know, and saying, well, you know, we're not talking about white people being killed by cops. Right now we're talking about black lives. That's the problem with this country. Black lives aren't more important than white lives. White lives are not more important than black lives. Hispanic, Asian, Indian, Middle Eastern, whatever. Lives are lives. When somebody is innocently killed or dies, especially in the hands of the police wrongfully, it doesn't matter the color of the skin, the place they grew up, where they were born, their nationality, ethnicity, color, or race. What matters is some mother just lost her son, a husband or wife just lost their spouse, a father lost his son, a child lost their father or mother, or maybe a mother or father just lost their daughter. Somebody just lost somebody in their family. That's what matters. I'm sick and tired. I'm not racist, and I hope I don't come across as that, but I'm sick and tired of people saying, Black Lives Matter. That's what we're not talking about white people right now. Look, lives matter, okay? Lives matter. I don't care what color you are. I don't care what ethnicity you are. If you die wrongfully or you're killed wrongfully, it's a tragedy. lives matter. And when we in this country get to that point where we say, I don't care what color the person was, they died wrongfully, that's when we can begin to be united, and this country will start to get back to where it needs to be. But as long as we're divided by race and ethnicity and nationality, we're never going to be United States of America. We're going to be the divided States of America. Okay? Stop the division, people. Let's unite. Let me know what you think, guys. I know this is a long video. Those of you that are here at the end, love ya. Let me know what you think.